Take back the power, what's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow?
Take back the power. Are you a leader or are you going to follow? Will you take back your privacy? Let's find out. Ija,
Yes, Danny.
tell me a little bit more about privacy. Why do I need it?
Well, so here's the important thing, right? I mean, there are those who want to control, and there are those who allowed themselves to be controlled, right? And until the masses fight back or stand up for what is rightfully theirs and the rights that they have as human beings, we're not just talking Americans or citizens of the world, we're talking about members of our species. Everyone's entitled to certain rights. And until those people stand up, until we stand up and demand justice and demand to be treated better, we're going to continue to be stepped on and pushed around. And so privacy really is fundamental to that fight for our human rights as a species.
How do you think cryptocurrencies relate to that for privacy?
Oh, well, so cryptocurrency, in fact, the entire, it's really, most of your readers don't, or listeners, nobody's reading this, I hope, but most of the listeners don't understand.
No, there's somebody in Utah that is.
Well, it's okay if you are. It's fine. I mean, we're very open-minded.
CIA or whatever. I think they read all of our trends.
The NSA Utah Data Center. They're reading it right now. Good point. So it's really not even about the blockchain. I mean, most people get caught up with the blockchain technology. Blockchain is one of the, and hear me out here, because this is going to sound like, oh my God, did he really say that? Blockchain is one of the absolute worst technologies ever invented, the data structure. It is a tree that you prune to be a linked list and can never modify. From an engineer, I see an engineer across from me nodding. From an engineering standpoint, it is potentially in fact, I'm going to say on record, it is the absolute worst data structure that I could ever think up. With my 20-year plus engineering background. If I wanted to completely destroy asymptotic runtime and performance, I would prune a tree. Maybe even worse would be pruning a hash table. That's probably worse, but nonetheless, it's a terrible data structure. So what cryptocurrency really is all about has nothing to do with the blockchain. It's nothing to do with Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency is really about the decentralization of all knowledge and all human knowledge and the information that we need to move our society forward. I mean, I watch a lot of Star Trek, and I see where I think we could possibly go in the future, or at least Gene Roddenberry's vision of that. But cryptocurrency is really about the decentralization of thought and knowledge. It has nothing to do with Bitcoin, nothing to do with smart contracts or Vitalik or Ethereum. It's about moving.
Who's Vitalik?
One of the founders of Ethereum. Okay, all right. Well, maybe we should rewind, Danny. Let's just go back. But nonetheless, it's the decentralization of knowledge and intelligence and the storage of that knowledge, and more important, the free accessibility of that knowledge. This is what Aaron Swartz tried to do years ago with journal articles and putting all that information online that the governments paid for and companies were making money off of. It's about the Dropboxes and the Googles and the Facebook and the Zuckerbergs and the people that are making a lot of money off of our information and now own every single electronic detail about us. We're talking about a free society, free information, free access to that information, and more importantly, we're kicking centralization to the curb. Taking these countries or these companies and governments and these centralized powers and authorities, and we're basically giving them a middle finger and saying, I'm done with you, I'm in charge, I'm now the god of my own world. That's what crypto is really the forefront of, is that movement of freeing ourselves from the shackles of the last 100 years.
You know, I think anybody that's listening can agree that the government is not very efficient at anything except for waste, starting a war, but they're just pretty much wasteful.
Sure.
So they're in charge of the money system. Why are we putting somebody so irresponsible in charge of the money system? Why can't the free market handle the money system? And that's really what I think that cryptocurrency is all about, is taking back our right to have our own money.
Right, absolutely. And it's the same thing with Equifax and Experian and TransUnion and any sort of centralization. I'll tell you what centralized data stores, from a hacker perspective, make me want to do. Hack them. That's exactly what I want to do when I see 50 million records, is I want to hack one server or one collection of servers and release all the records to the world. and sadly it happens all the time. I mean, look at, I hate to use this as an example, but the fappening 1, 2, or 3, or this information, these photos were hacked in iCloud and Google Cloud and Google, all these accounts, these centralized data stores released to the world. That's out there forever. That's just one example. Why was that so easy to do? Because all those photos were stored in a central set of servers. So centralization is far too tempting for hackers. And here's the scary thing to all this, and most people don't know this. Everything is hackable. Everything. And if a hacker wants to get to it, we will pwn it. We will own it, we will destroy it, we will take over it, and we will own your data. Done. That's the reality. Nobody can save you from us, from hackers. But hackers, like programmers, we're also lazy. We're not going to do anything we don't have to. We'll grab the low-hanging fruit first unless we have a vendetta against you or against a specific person. But that's the reality. And any security company that tells you that their security system or their platform or their infrastructure or whatever they're trying to sell you will keep you and your company safe, they're either outright liars or they're trying to sell you something, or both.
Awesome. Explain hacker, like good hacker, bad. I mean, obviously the listeners are probably scared of the word hacker. Give us the bright side of that.
Well, a hacker at its core is just an individual who takes something, it could be a piece of hardware, a piece of software, and just makes it do something that it was not originally intended to do. That's it. That's its core definition. It's somebody who tinkers, a tinkerer, a hacker. It doesn't mean it's a bad person. It doesn't mean it's a good person. In fact, all that is irrelevant. Whether you're a black hat, white hat, gray hat, it doesn't matter. When you go to a conference like DEF CON, and I know we were there having a few too many drinks last year, Danny.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you stand, whether you're a Jedi Knight or whether you're a Sith or whether you're a Mace Windu right there with your purple special lightsaber in the middle of the two extremes. All that's irrelevant. It's about learning and growing and testing your skills and becoming more powerful at the end of the day. Now, when you leave the conference, things are a little different.
I thought QueerCon was funner, but
QueerCon was by far much funner.
You guys had way too much fun after that.
Hey,
when is next year's?
It's August 9th through 12th. Here's a shameless plug. I'll be speaking at DEF CON. It's in Las Vegas. If you want to party for 4 days and forget who you are, or forget where you are, I mean, that's the place to be.
I'm Googling it right now.
Leave your laptop at home.
And turn your phone off.
Don't
turn your phone off and Bluetooth and all that.
So DEFCON.com or .org, DEF CON.
Alex, let's get your take on that.
Oh man. Well, so cryptocurrencies, I'd say, are the first manifestation of decentralized money. Bitcoin itself is really the only true decentralized cryptocurrency that's out there. The other ones generally have a very centralized control over their code base and over the hash rate and what's happening with their coin. So I'd say Bitcoin is pure in its decentralized nature, but it doesn't offer very much for privacy at all. It's an open ledger. So when you come and buy a pizza from me, I can see how much is in your wallet. Now that's probably not okay.
Right, that's true. Getting back to that, as a business owner,
What if you have a lot in your wallet?
yeah,
What if I hire somebody like Ejo over here to come take your wallet from you?
that's probably not
I
good.
mean, I like Daniel, so I probably won't do that, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe he can have his moments, so
Yeah.
I might do that. Yeah,
Well, you
probably,
like
whatever.
him, so you have close access to him. So
That's
maybe
true.
if he leaves his device unattended for a couple minutes, right, that's all it's going to take.
True.
So yeah,
That's true.
privacy.
But what's important is that we now have a choice over that. We can take as little or as much responsibility over the management of that money, rather than leaving it to a third party. That is quote unquote trusted third party, which we all know is not. I.e. the banks. We can now be the master of our own wealth, rather than leaving it to a third party.
And generally, we do a really bad job at managing and controlling our own wealth when we're the owners of those keys. very few people are really responsible enough to be able to manage that, I'd say.
And that's why at Phoenix Crypto, we really do a lot of educating and teaching our clients how to secure this. It's very important
how to decentralize your
to
money.
take the right steps, to be diligent in securing your money.
And hard wallets and go ahead.
When it comes to money, there's a fundamental reason why privacy is important too, which is called fungibility. And this is one of the characteristics of money that Aristotle identified. And when you know how much money somebody has and where that money's been, there is centralized power structures that can start blocking it, and then suddenly it breaks certain qualities of money. So it's actually
if
quite
your
important.
money came from weed, I probably don't want it, right?
All right, we just got a few seconds. We're fixing to go to break. We'll come right back and talk more about privacy and crypto.